was living in Spokane with the Sisters of the Holy Names and also practicing pediatrics. I was completing my studies in theology. And towards the end of that, the sisters approached me and said, Mirna, we're missioning you, sending you to Toppenish to practice pediatrics. Toppenish? Where is that? South Central Washington. Oh no, that's not Alaska, and I want to go to Alaska. Yes, we know, Mirna, but in Toppenish, there's a large Mexican community whose families and children need to hear a pediatrician whose native tongue is Spanish. And that's you. Well, it was hard, impossible, to say no to the sisters who, like my parents, had loved me into life. And so Sister Sheila McAvoy and Mary Garvin helped me pack my bags and put them all in a car and send me to Toppenish. I was driving and I said, oh, I know, but I'm only going to give this place 2 years of my life. And after 2 years, I know I'm heading back to Alaska. Well, 2 years became 12. I fell in love with the people and the land. However, towards the end of those 12 years, I started feeling this uneasiness and angst that though well-supervision visits are needed, prescribing antibiotics and attending resuscitations are key to the life of our children, at this stage of my life, while my mind was still clear and my hands remembered the skills of a pediatrician, I wanted to pass them on to the next generation of physicians. Though I am trained as an allopathic physician, an MD, I was to train now osteopathic physicians, or DOs, whose philosophy and practice I had embraced long before. They do the same thing that MDs do, except they have the extra skills and gifts to manipulate bones, muscles, and tissue to help the body heal itself. And that always resonated within me. So I left my pediatric practice and I accepted a position at the Family Medicine Department at Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, College of Osteopathic Medicine. And I loved it. I loved the teaching. The students were brilliant, open to learning. They wanted to serve in underrepresented and underserved areas. They were open to receive the wisdom that I had to share. But towards the end of those 2 years, I began feeling that angst. Something wasn't complete for me. What was it? I really didn't know. So I decided to take off a 3-day retreat, silent, all by myself, to ponder, to meditate, and to pray. What is this that is stirring within my soul? What is it that I am to do in my second half of life? So I went off. And I came home to my family after those 3 days, say, I got it. I know what I want to do. I am going to be a life-changing agent in the lives of the children of the valley, back across the gap to native land. My family asked, well, how are you going to do that? I don't know. The truth, I didn't know. But unbeknownst to myself, the president of our university, Dr. Keith Watson, had similar dreams and aspirations to create a pathway in which the underrepresented youth of our valley will find a way to the medical profession. He wanted to grow our own and not just wait until 4 years of training with these beautiful medical students and then 4 or 5 years of residency and then they're sent out everywhere. We wanted to grow our own to send them back exactly right here in the valley. So I was called to these meetings with former Chief Research Officer Bernadette Howlett and soon to be Dr. Maxine Janice, Liaison to Native American Studies at Heritage University. We sought her guidance, and she led us to Mount Adams School District in White Swan, Washington. Why there? Because it was an outlier school. It was determined by federal standards that it was a school in need of improvement. The statistics were like this: 39% chronic absenteeism rate, 19% suspension and expulsion rate, 59% graduation rate. To give you an idea, the average in the state of Washington of graduation rate is 78%. We went there and we said, we have students, medical students that want to serve, that want to give their gifts, and we have faculty who wants to do the same. So we met with former superintendent of Mount Adams School District, Mr. Henry Strum, and we said, here we are. What can we do for you? And over a period of 8 months, meetings, the program Roots to Wings was born. Roots to Wings was a name given by Mr. Henry Strum and Stacy de Leon that initially meant roots. Oh, that's where the cougar walks on land, which is the mascot for Mount Adams School District, the high school. And wings is the eagle that resembles the heritage of the Yakima people. We wanted to build those wings for those students, for our children in the valley, to spread their wings with the knowledge that they have already been given, the wisdom that they have, the gifts that they already have been given by their Creator. All we needed was create a program that would foster that growth. So we were creating a pathway for the underrepresented youth in our valley to enter into the medical field by being present or being offered the programs that are offered through the institutions that we have here. There are high schools, junior high, high school, Heritage University, and then Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. And hopefully we will have some that will become osteopathic physicians. That's what the initial meaning of Roots to Wings was. However, as I immerse myself in the values and traditions of the Yakima people, and I was invited to a root digging ceremony overlooking fallen arches, I began to really truly understand the word roots. As I dug the spear to pull the bitter root plant, the bitter root is what they use for their subsistence, for eating. So are the berries. Roots is not only what the traditional foods that they have that give them their health, but roots was also their traditions, their dances, their values. And so it was also the same for the Mexican community that I had so as well embraced. Then what is the foundations of this Roots to Wings program? The foundation comes from a paper by Dr. Bernadette Howlett and Jan Austin entitled Transformative Co-Mentoring. It is based on 4 principles. And these principles are the matrix that sustain Roots to Wings and hold it together no matter what. It is based on an egalitarian principle, It is collaborative. We must all sit at the table from a place of not knowing. That leads to humility. And we must all be open to learning from one another. And so was this program, how is it, what are the actual workings of the program? So we have mentors, first and second year medical students from our university. They are chosen by their academic record, and after application, filling a long application, we assess their motives and so forth, since this is a completely volunteer program, all about service, no credit on anything. It is the students from Mount Adams School District, as well as the Yakima Nation Tribal School, they are chosen according to how their schools determine that. We don't have any say-so on that. They have the power to determine who joins the program. And the program is divided into both didactic learning and hands-on experiences. You have teenagers, young kids now up to 6th grade. You got to have them be doing something, not sitting. So this picture that you see are students writing what was their first day in college like. They have to write a letter to themselves. We want them to begin believing, yes, you can be here. And they are hands-on experiences, simulation lab, in which they begin listening to the heartbeat, sensing pulses. We also have, how does a regular doctor's office works, and how do you take the blood pressure and look at people's ears and so forth. So they have that, didactic and hands-on. But remember, this is called transformative co-mentoring. It is not that our students just mentored. Our students are also mentored. So our students learn by sharing, having time to share stories with one another, their struggles. And they also listen to the younger students' struggles. When the younger student struggles hear that some of the medical students had a tough time in chemistry, or they really did bad in math, but they are becoming physicians now, then they begin saying, wow, I can do this as well. Also, our students visit their schools, and so the young students get to be mentors to our students when they show their campus, their classrooms, their town. Was this program always easy? Was it just simple, let's get together and do this? No, it wasn't. When you put human beings together, differences come up. The first thing that came was, Yakima Nation Tribal School and Mount Adams School District, they're rivals. And we put those kids together, and we felt energies that wasn't productive to the wholeness of our desire. So in one of the didactic lessons, I said, I'm called to resuscitate a baby. And this infant, I looked at the warmer, and he was having a hard time breathing. So I called the respiratory tech, the nurses, the lab technicians, the nurse practitioners, PAs, osteopathic physician, anybody that was there. Let's come help resuscitate this baby. But before I knew, everybody got into an argument. Oh no, don't give me orders. I'm the doctor. I'll give you orders. Oh no, don't tell me anything. I graduated from this school, you graduated from that one. Oh no, I'm the respiratory tech. I'm going to intubate this baby. It's not going to be you. And an argument ensued, and I couldn't control it. And the baby breathing begun deeper, slower, deeper, slower. Until it breathed its last. And I looked, and he died. The team was stunned. I could hear a pin drop. And I said, but see, our differences caused the loss of a human life. We all need to work together and find our common ground so that our children flourish and blossom. And of course, this is a fictional story that I said to the students in one evening of didactic lessons. But they got the message that they were all there to learn and to find their common roots. But if we had problems with the students, so we had problems with the steering committee, just the same way. Except I couldn't tell them this story anymore. They heard it. So as adults, what did we do? We had dinner, and all were welcome at the table. And since our program matrix is egalitarian, is collaborative, we must all come from a place of not knowing. I don't know exactly why you feel the way you do or react the way you do. And I got to be open to learning where he or she is coming from. Since we know that is our matrix, they all shared. We all shared. My fears of leading a group that I felt was just splintering away. And others about their frustration in communication. What made them angry? How come this was late? How come we couldn't complete this on time? But we all said it in the spirit of finding our common ground. And from that day on, Roots to Wings has exploded and grown, and we're now in the 3rd year of the program. And so I leave you today with 2 faithful to my Cuban heritage, faithful to my spiritual tradition. I offer you 2 invitations. 1, to all osteopathic and allopathic medical schools in this country and abroad. Create a mentoring program right there where your school is at. Reach out to those unrepresented youth in our field. And in 1 year from now, Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences College of Osteopathic Medicine will welcome you for a conference on mentoring. 2nd invitation is those of you who are here in this community. Ignite. And in those that are in communities everywhere seeing this today, ignite the fire for passion to serve those that are in the weakest members of our society, those that are most forgotten, those that are most unrepresented. And do it with integrity, with commitment, with compassion, and most of all, do it with love, because these students, these beautiful human beings, these are our present. But these are our future. So serve for the love of our children. Thank you.